Hello, YouTube. Woke up entirely too early. I was woken up. Dang, that's dirty looking. I had to clean that. Had to get my fiance on it. Just kidding. I'm gonna be talking about some things, some perfumes. I'm really just gonna set this up into a couple videos because this will be an hour-long video probably, and it'd take like 3 days to upload. Not sure what it is. My cell service and Wi-Fi have been excellent. Must be YouTube. It's just taking things forever to load. I mean, literally over half a day to load. Even if I do stay on the YouTube app, it's taking forever to load. So I don't know. Forget about it. There's been a lot of extra free time at work. Not at work, but a lot of free time at home, obviously. Things have slowed down a lot. I'm not sure why, but literally, as soon as some people call her a donkey, I call her a jackal. As soon as, and this is not meant to be political at all. This is just my observation. As soon as Biden stepped down and Harris stepped up, I'm not really sure actually what went on there or how it's going, because it doesn't seem like that she's even running the country. In my personal opinion, it just seems like that there's nothing at the head going on right now. So, and I don't mean to offend anyone. That's just how it feels. It's like, it's like she never actually took over, which I'm not really 100% sure about how all that goes. I'm sure that they explained it in school, but then most of our social studies teachers were males, and they were usually coaches, so we only sat there and played on our phones. But work has slowed down tremendously when Biden stepped down and she came into place. So I've had a lot of downtime, and it's really been a struggle for me to really want to get back on camera, sit down at the casting couch, and talk about perfumes. I'm sure we can all see that's in the fragrance Facebook groups that it's bombarded with clones, bombarded with bros. Our community literally gets up to the point to where it gets niche versus designer, and then that's it. That is it. Our community has never, as a whole, as a majority, has never gotten past that. Our community is really one of the only communities that has never grown past the rudimentary stages of, I guess, what you would call an online or virtual community. It's sad, but it's just the nature of the beast. You have new people coming in every day. You have new fragrance innovations every day. Supposedly, the rise of the clone houses are on an all-time rise right now, and people are like, well, it's a successful clone house. Is it really? They're over in countries that are not regulated when it comes to those type of things. They don't have to follow it. Me and Aaron, is his name Aaron? I think Aaron, it's either Aaron or Adam, sorry, from Scent of Samad. I don't think he posts anymore. He's not on Instagram anymore or YouTube. But, me and him have had several conversations, that I'm sure they're I'm not necessarily talking about clone houses, but other houses. I know that legally I'm not sure if they can actually lie when it comes to the ingredients that's in their perfume. Not talking about notes. I'm talking about the water, the alcohol, that certain dyes they put in, so on and so forth. When it comes to things like that, because they're worried about getting sued from people who have allergic reactions or something along those lines. I'm not really sure how that works either. But what was I saying? God, I'm retarded. But I urge people, you should be very careful of what you're putting on your skin when you spray these clone house perfumes on. When you are spraying Lattafa, Rasasi, not necessarily those brands, but like Duas. I have sprayed Duas on my hand, and it's like I take olive oil and just put it on my hand. I'm not necessarily saying that they're oil based, or I'm not getting into that whole BS debate argument. People like, oh, this is an oil based perfume. Obviously, there's perfume oils in it, dummy. Oh, this is an alcohol based. Oh, this is water based. No. Okay, that simply. I mean, it's just such an ignorant conversation, such an ignorant thing that people who know nothing about perfumes at all. I had a sales assistant, an essay, a sexual assault offender, at Bloomingdale's argue with me that EDT is alcohol based and Eau de Parfum is oil based, and I said no. I said they both have alcohol in it. They both have oil in it. It just comes down to how much they have of what, or the dilution, the ratio they have. I said that's all it comes down to. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like drinking it's kind of like drinking an alcoholic beverage. Say you have it's like drinking Jack and Coke. Just because that it doesn't it's not as strong doesn't mean it doesn't have any Jack in it. No, it just has less Jack in it or more Coke. However you want to look at it, but just really an ignorant thing. The clones, and the bros, God, it just every single day, it's so exhausting. And I'm not strong enough to distance myself from it. I'm quite ignorant when it comes to that. I can't distance myself from it. I can't stay away from it. I'm constantly stuck up in it. People like, well, this clone is so similar. No, you just don't have an advanced nose. You haven't smelled perfumes. You haven't really sat down and bought a note set of like 50 notes and sat there and smelled them. Smelt the synthetic, smelt the natural, smelt the isolated isotope. You haven't smelt, what is not an is an isotope? Whatever they do when they isolate it and you smell it. I can't really remember. It's been a really long time. And sit down and smell the natural, smell the synthetic, and then you're like, oh, well, dang, it says it has real sandalwood in it, but it smells a lot like the synthetic, and you go back and forth, and, oh, well, this is amberwoods. Oh, God, it's my nose. When I smell amberwoods, what's the synthetic? I think the synthetic for sandalwood is Javanol or something. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or that might be for cedar. Anyways, when I smell certain synthetics, it's like taking a hammer and beating me on my nose with it. It's honestly to the point where I hate it. When I smelt Pegasus Exclusive from Parfums de Marly, I smelled it, and I swear to God, I could have took the bottle and threw it at someone. It's ridiculous how awful some of the crap smells, and be like, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever. You got to try it. You got to get your nose on it. You got to get your hands on it. You got to pull the trigger. It's like, okay, so slow down, Eric and Dylan. I mean, slow down. It's okay. But our community I think it's always been set up to fail. We don't have a grounding. We don't have, this is why there has to be structure in the world. There has to be structure. And we as a community hide behind subjectiveness. So I'm a newbie in perfumes. I don't know anything about fragrances. I'm just going to hide and say, well, fragrance is subjective. I think it's this. I think it's that. And then you got people like Justin Copeland and his big ass forehead that are like, well, fragrance is subjective. Yeah, fragrance is subjective. That's what people who know nothing about perfumes and quite frankly have bad taste in perfumes hide behind. Subjectively speaking, I like the way this smells. Okay, that's your opinion. It's not necessarily subjective or objective. Well, technically it is, but it's not a subjective truth. It's just your opinion. Subjective truth is Well, not necessarily a subjective truth. It can't be a subjective truth. My bad. But opinion, subjectivity. Okay, well, I think that Ombre Nomad is the best men's perfume ever. It's a really good men's perfume. It's not the best ever. Got it right here. And I got my back. But people are hiding behind that, and it's so exhausting to see. It's so exhausting to hear. It's the same BS every single day. But that's my rant. I'm going to be making a couple videos, so stay tuned.